Yeah.
Are we ready to start?
Yes, sir. We'll let the participants in.
Okay. How many are expected? 60, 70. How many students are expected?
So we have 55 as of now.
Okay. No problem. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. I hope most students have taken the assessment. Where are you guys based? Sakshi, where are you based?
Sir, I'm from a town in Haryana, Ambala.
Okay. Okay, nice. Ambala. Of course, I know Ambala. So, what are you looking for to learn from today's session? What are you looking at? Any particular thing that you're interested in knowing about?
Yeah, so it's like most of us here are facing this, in our graduation, the stress.
I know. So you are in year 1, right?
Yes, sir. We are.
You'll graduate in 2023, correct?
Yes, sir. All
okay.
of us.
Time.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
I said time. You have to figure out what you want to do.
How to manage. Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Did you manage to read some of the stuff I sent, Abhishek? Did anyone read that? I sent some stuff to read.
Yes, sir. We sent that shared with the batch over mail.
I hope some have read it.
Yes. So shall we begin, sir?
Okay, let's go. We have participants there now. Okay, how many participants are here now? 30, 40 or more? 56. Okay, let's go. I'm excited. Let's start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the third session of IIMV Dialogues. Thank you for signing up. On behalf of IIM Shakapatnam, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Manoj Anchan, aka Manny. Mr. Manoj here is an ex-global banker, TEDx speaker, purpose researcher, impact author, ex-pro athlete, a happiness maverick, Harvard and Columbia alumni, and now a haptic venture founder. He is passionate about bringing out a positive change in society through happiness and teaches the Japanese concept of ikigai. Manny's goal is to make the world a better place, one soul at a time. Thanks again to all of you for joining us, even though it's a Sunday. And sir, we really appreciate you taking the time for today's session. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. I would like to begin the session by showing a video that describes sir's journey so far.
Is the video playing, Abhishek?
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Okay, great. My name is Manny Anchan. I call myself a happiness maverick. I've written a book recently. I have a company which focuses on mental health. I've been a global banker for 25 years. I've had the good fortune to work in top institutions across the world, in Africa, in Asia, a bit of Europe. Then I went on to study at Harvard Business School and Columbia Business School. And I came back pre-pandemic to India. I was away on a 13-year global journey. I came back to focus on my passion, to be close to my loved ones. I have a beautiful relationship with the city. I was born here. My mother was born here. She used to work as an economist in Reserve Bank of India. My dad used to work with New India Assurance. So for this reason, this city holds a very special place in my heart. I started working in Bombay. I worked with companies such as GE Capital, HDFC Bank, ABN AMRO, overseas with Barclays. Then I went to Bhutan to study the gross national happiness concept. They are the only country in the world which measures their citizens on a GNH index. So again, I had a good fortune of meeting the government, the think tank, doing research, on-field interviews. And pretty much it was very clear that the world needed happiness. It's a low-hanging fruit, but very few of us actually experience the joys of it. And then towards the end of 2019, I set up this company called Happiness Quotient Global Private Limited. We have curriculums for schools and colleges. We work with companies on purpose frameworks. And the whole idea and the passion is to develop a happiness quotient index. How do we measure mental health? Today, unfortunately, we have a lot of technology, but we do not measure mental health until it becomes too late. So the whole purpose is to develop a live HQ index where we can track individuals, be it in schools, colleges, or at the workplace, with a live index, which is powered by technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So it would be a great idea that principals of colleges or schools will be able to measure the students with the HQ index. CEOs or head of HR can monitor the mental health index of their employees. And it's a given, happy employees or happy students perform better in all aspects of life. So that's the goal we're working on. We worked with a lot of companies over the last 18 months, schools, Indian Army, to develop programs, and I'm pretty excited that the journey has just begun. COVID has and the pandemic has taught us the importance of mental health and what really matters to a human being. Family, friends, those are the things that matter. Money, of course, is important, but that does not guarantee happiness. There's a certain element of money is needed to have a house, for the meal, for education, for transport. But beyond that, health, mental health, spiritual health, physical health, financial health, all of that powers mental health, not one aspect. So basically that led me to my first book, which was The Happiness Samurai, which I published earlier this year. It's doing very well. It is a life memoir powered by the global principles, the key principles of happiness. And I have borrowed the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai to explain happiness. Ikigai comes from Okinawa in Japan. This is about my first book, and my second book, which comes out very shortly, is called The Happiness Memoir. And this is a guided self-journaling book. Again, journaling is a very powerful exercise, proven, and I want to bring that to the world, that we must journal every day. We must write about gratitude. We must write what makes us happy. We must write about our fears, our challenges. And only when we capture our thoughts become actions. So that's a little bit about me. I live now in Bombay, in Mumbai, as they call it. I live with my dog called Maximus, and that's a little about my life.
Great.
Like to
Thank
begin
you. Yeah,
the
go on.
session by Sir, thank you for joining us today. The stage is all yours.
Okay, great. So, first of all, it's a privilege to address bright students of your B school, one of the esteemed schools in the country. Your school started in 2017. When did your Vizag IIM Vizag start? A couple of years ago.
So 2015.
15. Excellent. So 5 years, 6 years now. You are obviously it's a very prestigious institution. So congrats on all of you to in your year one journey. and there's a lot of learning I will take away from this session too. We'll keep it very interactive. We have a deck, we have videos, questions, there'll be a live experiment, and finally, we're keeping 30 minutes for Q&A with you. So I think that's my favorite, talking to young minds and addressing their points, concerns, and learning from them. So what I want to ask you is, Abhishek, I'll just ask a few questions, and the students can answer in the chat window. So how much percentage of our lifetime do we spend social, like with friends? So anyone wants to give me a percentage answer? It doesn't have to be, extremely right. Just ballpark number. Social में हम कितना time spend करते हैं friends के साथ, not family. I'm talking of friends. So Sonal, 40%. Okay. So the definition is, I'm taking an average of 81 years lifespan. Okay. और एक दिन में 24 hours होता है. उसमें हम कितना वक्त बिताते हैं friends के साथ. So how much time do we spend with friends? So 30. Okay, 30. Okay, so ballpark is 10% with friends. So as I explained to you, 81 years into 365 number of days into 24 hours, that's around 700,000 hours. In that, we spend close to 75,000 hours with our friends, okay? How much percentage do we spend on work? So working lives, right? So what is the percentage, ballpark? So what do you think is the answer? 30%, Diksha says, okay. Who else? Varun, 45, Kritika, 40. Okay, the answer is 20%. So 140,000 hours we spend working. Broadly, I'm taking an average of 9-10 hours, 38 to 40 years of working, either for self or for a company. How much this is an easy one. How much percentage do we spend sleeping? This should be easy. What's the percentage we spend sleeping? 50. Okay, Varun, you sleep 12 hours a day, huh? Not bad. You're a lucky guy. 30%, Nami, that's a good one. Yeah, so the broad answer is 33%. Okay. So that's like 250,000 hours of our lifetime we are spending sleeping. Okay. So the most important one, how much time do we spend on our mental health? What's the percentage? Global percentage, or whatever is in your head on our mental health. Mental health means meditation, journaling, not necessarily physical activity, but on mental reading, all those things. Ishwang says 1 to 2%. Who else? Okay, 4 to 5%. Sakshi, 8 to 10% is a lot. Whoever has written Sakshi has written 10. That's too much. So Ashish is right. The global is less than 1%. 0.25% actually. Matlab 2,500 hours approximately is spent by citizens across the globe on mental health. That is really nothing, right? I mean, that means, what is the most powerful tool we have? Anyone wants to answer? As a human being, what's the most powerful tool we have? Brain, exactly. She says brain, that's mental. So mental health, we invest as human beings across the world the lowest time. And that gives you an answer. Why do you think 20% of the world is suffering from mental health issues? World Health Organization classifies mental health as a global epidemic. India has the largest number of people by numbers across the world depressed, 150 million people. And these are numbers. Some of them say actually it's 300 million. Okay. Number of suicides in India are staggering. More than 40% of female workforce in US is on antidepressants. 26% of young British nationals are depressed. So, what's the answer? The answer is obviously we are not investing in mental health, correct? So we will come back to it. In my deck, I will talk to you about various things we can do, various hacks we can do. We will play a small video right now on why it's important to be happy in this world. It's a very short clip and very motivating, uplifting. I hope you like it.
to the happy ones.
Abhishek, can you try to replay it? Chalu nahi hua. Okay, and volume? Do you have volume? Yeah, that's good.
Here's to the happy ones, the dreamers, the nonconformists, the mischief makers, the perfect squares and the round holes, the ones who see things differently. They abhor rules. You can echo them, disagree with them, love or hate them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things with fortitude. They thrust humanity forward with purpose. And while some may see them as the insane ones, the world sees their authentic passion. Because the mavericks who are crazy enough to think that they can make the world a happier place one kind soul at a time are the ones who actually do. Because in the end, when it is time to measure their lives, they make happiness the only number. They are the happiness samurais.
Thank you, Abhishek, for playing that video. So we are going to start the deck now. I'm going to take you through the 10 key principles of happiness. And then we'll have a few more videos to explain this. So if you, yeah, we're going to start the deck. Has anyone typed happiness in Google and seen how much search results come out? Do you know? It's a staggering number when you try that exercise. So I've written happy in various languages. If you can see, that's a picture of me in Bhutan on the trip, the research trip. Bhutan is the only country in the world that measures citizens with a gross national happiness concept. And if you see me on the screen, this is their Bible that they use. And the results are piped into their 5-year economic plan. Okay, so let's start the deck. So what is Ikigai? Ikigai is, the simple act of stopping and being in the moment to experience what you're doing. And why is the simple act of finding your Ikigai one mindful moment at a time? So it's really about mindfulness. The more we live in the present, the more we'll enjoy. Stress is built up only in the mind, right? And that causes your body to decay. Biologically you suffer because stress builds up in the brain. Ikigai is like a compass, always pointing due not to where your sense of being lies. So that's, really your passion is there. All you need to do is search for it, and that is within. The answers all lie within. And one of my favorites, Ikigai resides in the realm of small things: the morning air, the cup of coffee, the ray of sunshine, the walk with your pet dog, talking to your friends or your loved ones. They're all on equal footing. Only those who can recognize the richness of this whole spectrum really appreciate and enjoy it. So these are some of the definitions of Ikigai. Moving on. So the first principle that here I want to explain is the principle of patience. You're all young, average age 21, 22, or 23, I'm guessing. And you want to change the world. You're in a massive hurry, and that's all understandable. But trust me, the world can wait. You need to sort yourself out. When you get into the corporate world, there's a big pressure on productivity, big pressure on being in the top, big bonuses, promotions, but that will only cause you to burn out faster. That will cause you to ignore your physical health, ignore your mental health, ignore your loved ones. Your relationships will suffer. So you need to be patient. A dream which is you have alone, it's not going to work. But if you dream something with your family, with your loved ones, with your colleagues, that dream is more likely to materialize. So one of the key messages out here, and my learning, that's a picture of me and my son overlooking a sunset in Bombay, and that's three of us on a mountaintop trekking with my dog. When he was born, he's now 13. That's really where I started, pulling back, and I said, wow, there's a lot more in life than getting that C-suite position, $1 million, big packages, fancy cars, all of that. So all of that kind of lost meaning for me when he was born, and I wanted to invest my best times with him, to be a good father, to spend time with him, play with him, nurture his dreams. So it's one of my favorite pictures, and that's what I really thought you would understand. That for me, my ikigai now is my son, his welfare. He lives with his mother in Pune. We are divorced, but we are good parents, and so for me, the time I spend with him is priceless, and everything else can wait. And that's really one of the key messages. Focus on yourself, focus on your loved ones, focus on your ikigai. You will get your promotions, you'll get everything you want. But if you ignore all that is important, you'll not be able to sustain the balance needed in life. Moving on to the next slide. And we're going to keep 30 minutes for Q&A. So please hold on to your questions. I would love to answer questions. This is, every one of us has passion. As Viktor Frankl says, if you don't know what your passion yet is, you need to discover it. We all have a unique talent that gives meaning to our days. What's the meaning of ikigai? The meaning of ikigai is the reason of being. Why do you wake up in the morning? That's really the whole purpose, right? You wake up in the morning to excel in studies. You wake up in the morning to be a Olympian, to have your own startup, to take care of your loved ones. We must all have a reason. So as Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi says, there's no point living a life without any passion. And that's true, right? We all want to see people with passion. Rafael Nadal, Virat Kohli. I mean, I'm just talking of, sports people, because that's something that I'm very passionate about. You want to see Rafael Nadal because he brings so much passion into his game. You want to see Virat Kohli bat or field because he's very passionate. Nobody wants to see a dull person, right? Similarly, at a workplace, they all want to see passion in you. So, there's a passion to be found leading a life. That's the one that we all are abundantly capable of living. We all have a passion. We all have a purpose. In the pursuit of our purpose, we are what we repeatedly do. Passion then is not an act, but a habit. That's a picture of me on top of Mount Kilimanjaro on Feb 14th. Well, yeah, exactly. Feb 14, 2013. And that's really where I had my moment of epiphany. And I said, banking is all good, but I'm not adding purpose to the community around. And that's where, I took the decision to start winding down. And, over a few years later, I quit banking right at the top. We'll come to that later. Moving on to the next slide. So, this is about, why we should continue to work. And it's not necessary you must retire at 60, right? That retirement age thing, philosophy came from the Western region, right? You need to work till you feel fit enough. And that could be working for yourself, working for someone else, working pro bono. Because the minute you stop working and adding purpose to the community, you lose purpose. You say, what am I waking up for? So one of the key learnings from Okinawa in Japan, which is the #1 blue zone in the world. A blue zone is where there are 5 blue zones in the world where people live to 100 and beyond, right? So Okinawa from Japan is the number one. So now maximum people on the planet who live to 100 and beyond come from Okinawa, and their secret is ikigai. So they, on 100 years is ballpark 1,000,000 hours. Imagine that's how long they live. And while most of us probably live 600,000 or 650,000, so think about why they live so long, because they have a purpose. They work till 90, they work till 100. They don't have a retirement age. Uh, there's a Michelin, 3-star Michelin restaurant in Tokyo, and the head chef is 95 years old. So Barack Obama and Shinzo Abe, when Barack Obama was the president of the US, went over there to eat, and this was 2014. And he loved the food, obviously. And his son is now 65, the head chef, right? So the son told the dad that, why don't you quit and relax at home? He said, well, why will I quit? I enjoy waking up at 4 in the morning and going to the Tokyo fish market, picking up the fresh catch for the day and cooking. That brings me joy. Now just imagine, he's 95, 96 now, and he's still working, getting up at 4, working at the restaurant. It's the best restaurant in the world for sushi. So that's the key message here that I would like to give you. Keep working, either for yourself or working for someone else, till the time you're physically fit and mentally fit. And that will power your sense of purpose. Okay. Next slide. This principle is called hara hachibu. It is in Japanese, roughly it translates to eat until you're 8 parts out of 10 full, or belly 80% full. So if we eat 4 chapatis, try to eat 3. If we eat probably 2 portions of dessert, try to have a portion and a half. Hara Hachibu is a teaching that instructs people to eat until they're 80% full. And less is more when it comes to eating for long life too. According to the 80% principle, in order to stay healthier longer, we should eat a little less than our hunger demands. Because we also know that the brain takes a little bit of time to register that the stomach is full. And what happens when we have a full meal? If we are studying, the 2 p.m. lecture, we are very lethargic, we can't concentrate. Or in a workplace, if you have crazy amount of lunch, you're not going to be productive from 2 to 4 or 2 to 5. And that's going to eat into your productivity time. And that may mean that you will work late. And that's really not what you want to do. That picture on the right is my mother. She was an economist with the RBI. She's 81. She leads a ikigai life, frugal eating. It's not about eating less. You eat right, but you eat 80% full. We have a video now. Abhishek will be playing a video.
What did an employee want pre-2020? They hoped by achieving all the goals, one would be happy. The goals being house, money, car, holidays, latest gadgets, status and perks, possessions, promotion. This, they felt, would make them immensely happy. The pursuit was unfortunately futile and taking a toll on mental health, impacting all that truly matters. The world as we know it has changed dramatically. There has never been a more pertinent time in history to launch sustained mental health well-being immersive 360 degrees learning programs at work, which will propel happiness quotient. This would make the workplace healthier, one happy employee at a time. Tech for Good, powering the pursuit of purpose with passion. Now, all they want is to be happy. Being happy allows one to have a loving family, caring friends and colleagues, warm home, happy money, minimalism, gratitude, passion at work, good health, and kindness. That is all there is to work life and balanced well being. Make mental health your organization priority starting now.
Thank you, Abhishek. We'll come back to the deck now. So this is about movement. So why do you think citizens of Okinawa from Japan live so long? Because they practice movement. Movement is not about going to the gym. It could be walking, it could be cycling, gardening, playing a game of tennis, anything. Water moves. It is at its best when it flows fresh and doesn't stagnate, right? The body, you move through life, and needs a bit of daily maintenance. We all evolved from being cavemen. So we used to go hunting, and then we used to do cooking, we used to protect our family. And then work life came, we started having a sedentary lifestyle, sitting on the work desk for 10 hours, 12 hours. What did that make us? Lazy, cholesterols increase, diabetes level increase. You see a lot of young people suffering from heart diseases. So exercise releases hormones, serotonin, that makes us feel happy. So movement is the number one thing you must adopt. As I mentioned to you, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be hitting the gym. Having a six pack doesn't mean you're fit, right? You've got to do all. You've got to be mentally fit. For that, movement is very, very critical. So on the left is, Tai Chi, yoga. You could practice. These are globally the top, practicing Tai Chi, yoga. This is one of the biggest reasons to help mental health. And scientists have proven that by practicing yoga, Tai Chi, any form of spiritual movement can help you become a better person mentally. So that's what I wanted to talk to you. This is about movement. I hope you incorporate movement in your daily lives. Proceed. Friends, friends are the best medicine. They're for confiding worries over a good chat, sharing stories, talking about relationships, getting advice, where to work. Could be anything. Having solid friendships in our life even promotes brain health. The longest study on happiness is conducted by Harvard. It's over 75 years, where they studied 320 students from, I think, early mid 1930s, something like that. And they tracked these students across their lifetime, and the study is still going on. And the number one key result for the participants, so there are 320 participants and 700 odd children, right? Totally 1,000. So the number one key result that came in was the value of relationships, and I'm talking about friendship. So friendship is very, very important. The US average is less than 2 in terms of having close friends. In India, I hope it's a little more, probably 4 to 5. But hold on to your friends, your childhood friends, your college friends, your B school friends. They will be the best medicine over the next 60 years for you. If you don't have friends, loneliness will kill us. So it's very, very important to nurture and don't have a transactional friendship, because that person could help us, so we can be friends with that person. Waisa nahi hona chahiye. We must invest. The more we give, the more we get. Okay, let's move on. This is the principle of smile. We, when we are all young, like we are children, we smile probably 50 or 100 times in a day. What happens when we enter the workforce? We are smiling probably less than 10 times in a day. And that is really, really harmful for our health. A cheerful attitude is not only relaxing, but it also helps make friends. Smile at a stranger. When you're at a coffee shop or you open the door, you smile back, it makes you feel good. It makes the other person feel good. And when you're in college, when you enter your classroom, you want to see a smiling professor, right? You don't want to see a grumpy professor. You want to see a smiling class. Who wants to see a class which is morose and very stern? You won't enjoy learning in that atmosphere. Smiling lifts your mood by releasing endorphins and positively affects those around you. It helps retune your attitude and puts you on a more optimistic footing. So that's me and my dog, Maximus. He's right here in the room with me. He's always there for all my sessions. And, I live alone, and having him is very, very good for my mental health, because we exercise, we watch some shows together, and he's always there. It's very reassuring to have a presence of a pet. And, some of you probably have dogs, and you might understand what I'm talking about. Do we have a video now, Abhishek?
Yes.
Okay, great. This will be a short video, I think, on meditation, a very short video, 90 seconds video. And at the end of the next 3-4 slides, we have an exciting live experiment. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Meditation is a key aspect of being mindful. If you can take 15 minutes in a day, it can be guided meditation, it can be chanting, it can be whatever you believe in. Shut off all devices, be in a place which makes you happy or at peace with yourself. Put down your thoughts in your mind. Listen to some soothing music. Give those 15 minutes all you have, your complete focus. Think about what you want to achieve in the day. Think about what you're grateful for in your life. Just be at complete peace, surrender to the moment. And you would see over 60 days, over 90 days, if you start meditating every day, and ideally it should be in the morning when there's no disturbance. It can be 5 a.m., it can be 6 a.m. or any time which suits you. You'll start seeing the day panning out much, much better, because you've started your day being mindful, giving your thoughts and your goals shape. And if you know, mindfulness becomes so pertinent today. Happiness is a result of living in the moment, being mindful. You must be mindful when you eat. You must be mindful when you talk to your friends and your family. You must be mindful when you are working. Spend each and every second immersed in what you're doing. And that essentially is mindfulness. So if you can embrace meditation, if you can embrace mindfulness, you would see an enormous change. It won't come overnight, but 60, 90 days, 120 days, you would see the effect. It will calm you down as a person, and it will be the perfect way to start your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. We'll move to the last few slides. So this is the principle of being with nature. Human beings were meant to live with nature, not the other way around, right? Nature doesn't have to live with human beings. We have to be mindful. We have to be protective of nature, of our planet. Sustainability, as you know, is a very big thing and trending. So a lot of people live in cities, and most of you probably after graduation will move to, metros, big cities, Bombay, Delhi, wherever, right? But it's very, very important also to get back into nature, be it trekking, be it the beach. Take a break, completely detach yourself, and come back to your workplace recharged. Okinawans are known to garden well into their senior years. As I mentioned, they do gardening in the morning. As are residents of other long-living regions such as Icaria in Greece, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya in Costa Rica. This has the dual benefit of exercise and encouraging time outdoors and green spaces. So this is the book I want to show you. this is called the Blue Zones of Happiness. If you are interested to know more, it is written by Dan Buettner. This explains the 5 regions that I talked about and what they do. So it's a beautiful book called Blue Zones. Nature is always the best recharge. So that's me and my son in an elephant orphanage in Sri Lanka in 2019. That's Lakshmi. She was 32 years old. And we spent the day with her, bathing her, feeding her, watching her play with her mother, and beautiful, very beautiful day we spent. So spend more time in nature as much as you can. Take small breaks, even if it's Saturday evening, you go, come back Sunday night, do it. Spend maximum time. And your best corporate ideas, your best business ideas, your best startup ideas will come when you're amidst nature, not when you're in the 9x9 cubicle at work, right? Or in a cabin. Your best ideas will come to you when you're outdoors. Moving on. This is one of the most powerful secrets of being happy, being a happy person. It's called gratitude. So we must cultivate a habit of expressing gratitude often, right? It is a tremendously empowering exercise. Spend a moment each day giving thanks. You watch your stockpile of happiness grow. You can write a gratitude journal. You can record your voice in voice notes. There are various ways of practicing gratitude. Again, global research has shown that whoever practices gratitude is definitely a better person pre-practicing it. They've taken samples of people who don't practice gratitude versus people who practice gratitude. Dalai Lama also says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. So start building a gratitude mindset. It will help you tremendously. Next slide. So this is living in the moment. Stop regretting the past and fearing the future. To be honest, every day, 200,000 people globally do not wake up in the morning. So you must have gratitude and enjoy the 24 hours that you have today. What you do with your time either makes you or mars you. Don't worry too much about the future. I know you are year 1 students. Focus more on finding your passion. What do you think you would be exceedingly good at, and work towards that. Everything else doesn't matter. What others think about you will not matter. Build on yourself first and make the most of the day that you have. As I said, invest in yourself, invest in your friends, your studies, projects, calling your mother, father, your brother, sister. Make the most of the 24 hours and build on the little things. It's very, very important to build on the little things. When you launch yourself in the now, you're ready to let go and see things that matter to you in a more obvious and positive light. That's a picture of the Buddha in Bhutan. And that's a picture of a child monk in Bhutan, just to explain that to you. Okay. I think the last slide now. I think we have the last slide. So, some of the quotes from my first book. Our journeys may have differences in terms of dates, location, gender, and so on and so forth. But in essence, our journeys are very similar because they start with the same questions. All of us, all human beings have the same questions. Every individual is unique, and every cause that would create an effect called Ikigai would be similarly unique. Mindfulness in each moment is where our Ikigai truly resides. And that is where we must find our Ikigai anew each time. These are some of the quotes on Ikigai to give you more understanding. If you're interested to know more, my book, Happiness Samurai, is on Amazon. I had sent you the excerpt of it through Abhishek. Please read it. I'm sure it'll add value to you. And I think the last slide we have now. Yeah, so I think this is a key one, right? We must stop trying to be happy, instead enjoy it by being in the journey. Start being. This is more like all adults are once children, but only a select few who follow their Ikigai remember it. To the others, there's a beautiful story unfolding inside you, a unique passion that gives meaning to your days and drives you to share the best of yourself with the world. So my key message for you would be start being happy, start enjoying the present, and you'll see the world unfold around you. And there's no better time in humanity than to live today. You can be young and you can dramatically change the world. That's the power you have. We have a small video, and then I will talk to you about an exercise, and then we'll get into the Q&A.
Journaling used to be a beautiful way of capturing our thoughts as teenagers. We would capture our thoughts, our dreams, our emotions. And somewhere down the road, we just lost touch with this beautiful exercise. I would urge you to reconnect. Journaling is a very powerful way to beat our blues, to feel better. We can talk about our anxiety. If we capture it there, we will feel better. We can talk about our thoughts, our goals, our dreams, our aspirations. We can write a gratitude page every day. What we are in gratitude for, our family, our friends, this beautiful planet. We can write about our most lucid dreams. We can write about what makes us happy. We can write about the things that we want to do this year and the coming years. And when we start capturing it, when we start journaling on a regular basis, you will see your stockpile of happiness grow. It is a beautiful exercise, and I feel this is very, very pertinent in one of the key principles of happiness.
Great. Thank you, Abhishek, for all the videos. So I'm going to now request all students to give 5 minutes to me. I want you to write a gratitude letter to anyone. Could be your mother, father, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, anyone. Yeah. I mean, anyone who's added a lot of value to your life. Okay. And I keep doing this in every session of mine, and I write letters too. So it's not something that I'm not doing. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I'll ask two volunteers to read out this letter to their loved one. If their loved one is in the house with you, you can invite that person to sit next to you, or you can call your friend or whatever over the phone and live read this letter out. And we would want everyone to see your reaction as you read it, and hear the other person, right? If over the phone, it'll be great. So I'm going to give 5 minutes. Please be very honest and write from your heart what that person means to you, how he or she is shaping you. And trust me, it's a very emotional exercise and very empowering. So I would need two volunteers at the end of the 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's 12:54 at 1. We will put the video back on, and then two volunteers can put their hands up, and through Abhishek, we'll ask them to come live, and they will either ask the person in their house to sit next to them, or on the phone, they will read out the letter to that particular. Okay. So thank you so much. And I hope you write from your heart. All right. Thanks. Yeah. So we have 1 more minute. I think the last 60 seconds, give it good shape. And I'm looking for 2 volunteers. And then we're going to give 25-30 minutes for Q&A also. So that's the best part. Love to ask questions and, keep it insightful for all of you. So if anyone is ready, please put your hands up and to Abhishek, and then we can begin. We just 2 volunteers and, a few minutes exercise each. We can have their video on and they can introduce themselves and who are they writing the letter to. And, we can call them on the phone. Hear the other person react as the letter is being read out, or if that person is in the house, invite them to be in the screen with you. So it's one. Any volunteers? Abhishek, now over to you.
If anyone wants to volunteer, they can raise their hands.
Yeah, and please don't be shy. It's a beautiful exercise. No one is judging. It's only beautiful. People will love you more after they watch you read out the letters. So open your heart. And just 2 volunteers. Okay, let's make it 1 male, 1 female. We'll balance it out. Gender diversity. Let's have 1 female volunteer first, please. 1 student. And both these students are going to get signed copies of my book. So I'll get their addresses from Abhishek and I'll courier the signed copy to you. Who is the first volunteer, Abhishek? I think I saw some hands up. Sucharya Mondal, is that right? And Sakshi has put a hand up. So what should we do? Who are we going to go with? Any other volunteers? Any male volunteers have put their hands up, or only 2 females that I can see? No? Okay. So Abhishek, how many hands do we have up? Do you have?
Sorry, there are 3. Varun wants to. Varun is there.
Oh, Varun. Okay, so let's begin with Sucharya. Sucharya, welcome.
Yes.
And how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are
On
you?
a scale, I'm good. On a scale of 1:10, how happy are you at the moment? 1:10. 10 is the highest.
7.
Okay, good. So who are you reading this letter to?
I'll be reading it to my best friend.
Lovely. And where are you right now? Which city are you in?
I'm in Bongaigaon. It's a city from Assam.
Okay, great. In Assam, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's a beautiful state. So what's your friend's name?
It's Progyo.
Okay, so you're going to call him on the phone, right?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. That's the whole beauty of it, that you call that person on the phone and read out the letter we want to hear and put it on speaker, right? So, we can hear that person react to your beautiful letter. I'm sure it's a beautiful letter. And if you want to cry while reading it, read it. Cry. A lot of people cry. So it's normal. Don't try to hide your emotions, okay?
My friend will shout at me if I...
Arey, don't. Why are you worried about your friend shouting at you? Let's go. Let's start. I'm waiting. We're all waiting to hear you speak. Put them on speaker. I think you're on mute. We can't hear you, Sucharya.
In the letter.
Right. Yeah, we can hear you now. Have you made the phone call?
Yes, I have made the phone call.
Okay, let's hear you read the letter.
I have written a short letter.
Lovely.
Dear best friend, thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for all that you have done for me and that you do for me. For all the times that you have held me up. I know things have changed and We have our ups and downs, but I hope we remain the same forever in future. No matter where you are in future, I will always be there for you. Thank you.
Is your friend on the line right now?
Okay.
What is that? What I can't hear that friend. How did he or she react?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
So should I say something?
Sorry, what did he say?
Good morning, good afternoon, sir. I'm her best friend, and my name is Pragya. And
Right.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. So you are actually part of a live session on happiness that I'm conducting for year 1 students of our business school, and this is a experiment of gratitude. So, what did you think when she read out that letter to you? What did you feel?
I feel great that this is something that's like going on our life since we have been best friends for 4 years now. So it's good that she said something from within her heart. So this is something I expect from her, honesty and like things you means what she says.
How did you feel? Did you feel happy? Did you feel emotional? What did you feel? That's what I want you to describe.
I felt happy because she admitted what she said right.
Okay, excellent. So would you like that letter to be given to you in person? Would you keep it with you?
Yeah.
But the note that she has written. And Sucharya, how did you feel reading out the letter or the note?
We exchange letter. Like I like giving letters to people, so we have done it before.
Okay, you were happy to do the exercise, right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you for this. Who's our second? And please thank your friend also. Abhishek, who's the second person we're going to go with?
Thank you, Sucharya. Sir, Varun will go.
Acha, Varun, aapka video on karna so everyone can see you.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. So who are you writing the letter to?
So I'm writing this letter to my entire gang.
Your gang.
So,
okay.
Yeah, the gang's name is Club 303 and my group.
Okay, so who are you going to call? Because are they in the club?
I would love to call each and everyone, but I don't know who all are there.
Acha, so select one person.
And one more is there, it's Madhead. So I would like to call each one from each group.
Acha, but Abhi, we don't have the time to call each one. So you select one person and read it out. And then you can call later, post the session. No problem. We have a lot of time today.
Since Abhishek is here, he is one of the group member.
Acha, lovely. So Abhishek to sun rahe?
Yes.
So, shall I begin?
Okay. Yes, please, Varun. Please.
The short time we spent at our hostel, we became closer and closer, right from the time we met on Zoom screen until we met in reality. Humans are born from Earth and destined to return back to the Earth. And during that process, only thing we take with us is the memories. And so thank you all the clubs for all the wonderful memories we created in the short span. I will cherish them for eternity. The only regret would be is not having you with us, Shrikant and other members of Mad Heads. And finally, thankful to my dearest Mad Heads. Without you, this journey wouldn't be filled with hope and fun. So hope to meet you soon.
Nice. So Abhishek, kaisa laga? How did you feel when you read out the letter?
So you can see my emotions. I felt very happy actually.
Lovely. Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, sir.
It is a very beautiful exercise. I think Sakshi, you wanted to read out a letter, right?
Yeah, I wanted to read
whom?
to my. She's my best friend from my undergraduate.
Okay, let's go with one more, and then we'll dive into the Q&A. So you're going to do a phone call, right?
Yeah, I'll do a phone call to her.
Okay,
She lives in Panipat.
She lives in Panipat. Lovely.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, put her on speaker and you can read it out. I hope she answers your call, huh?
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah, she's watching Gehraiyya on Amazon Prime right now. Today is Sunday, so maybe she's watching something.
She's probably preparing for her exams, so she has this defense exam.
She's not answering? She's not answering?
Yes. Okay. Hello. Hi, Monica.
बोल.
Okay, I'm going to read something to you, and you are on speaker. Okay, so
Okay.
okay. So this is a letter I wrote for you. Dear Mona, I wrote this to tell you how much I love you. That you're one of the very few good things that has ever happened to me, and probably the only person I completely trust on. I truly admire the way you're positive about life and how you are always ready to fill in colors into it with your palette, and always that thing that you are good at doing this, also with being along with being a very good sister and a great daughter. So thank you so much for being in my life.
Okay.
So people are listening.
So Monica, can you hear me?
Just a second, sir.
Okay. Monica, can you
Yes,
hear me?
she can hear you.
Yeah. So Monica, how did you feel when Sakshi read out this note to you? What did you feel? Sorry.
Just a second.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Okay.
Monica, so
Yeah.
he's asking you how did you like the letter?
How did you feel when Sakshi was reading it out? Sorry. Really?
I think it's just the issue with my audio that
No. What did she say?
she says she feels nice. She feels the same way.
Yeah, did she have tears in her eyes, or was she emotional when she heard you?
She's not bit of an emotional person, so we are
Really?
actually poles apart in that manner.
Is it? Is she like Hrithik Roshan in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, and you're like Farhan Akhtar? Is that what it is?
Totally.
Okay, great. So thank you so much. I hope you send out the letters to your friends and give it to them. It'll be a beautiful exercise. So we're going to begin with. We're going to keep 20. Or I'm happy to talk for 30 minutes also. We're going to start questions. I would love to take questions from you. Keep it very interactive. I'm happy to speak to you and take as many questions as we can in the next 25-30 minutes, if that's good with you.
You can raise your hands or either can put the message in.
Yeah. And you don't need to worry. You can ask any type of question. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Yeah, I think I can see Vasudev. There's one hand up I can see.
Yeah,
I think
yes.
Abhishek,
Hello.
you might see more. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
Vasu,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Where are you?
I am at home right now.
No, which city? What I meant is which city?
Okay. Greater Noida.
Okay, lovely. That's some books behind you. Which is your favorite book?
My favorite book would be Network of Thoughts, written by Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so what's your question?
Yeah, the question would be, it is somehow related to that book that I just mentioned.
Okay.
Since we were talking about mental health and happiness,
Yeah.
we somehow feel some such conflict inside us, how to end it or be comfortable with it, as it is taking a huge toll on our mental health.
Okay, what's the conflict? What are the issues?
That is something I am unaware of, but I feel there is some kind of conflict.
So what's the conflict in your head that it's causing you stress? There must be something that's causing you stress. What's causing you stress?
That's a difficult question you asked there, and I am not aware of it right now.
No, but what's your greatest fear? What do you fear in life? What's your greatest fear today? You're 21, 22, 23, whatever your age is. Do you have a fear in life?
Yes, I do have a lot of fears.
What's the fear? Okay. What's the fear? The number one fear.
Yeah, it is such, sir, it's a kind of a very personal question, and I
Okay.
I am not a kind of person who can just speak it out in front of 60 people.
Okay. But
Not
as
comfortable
you
enough.
grow, as you become a leader, you'll
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
be vulnerable. Remember. So if you're leading teams in India, wherever you work, they want to see a vulnerable side to you, Vasu. So you cannot be somebody with a mask. Then it will not be, they will not identify themselves with you. So if you have a fear, you should voice it to your teams. You're only human. All of us are human. Remember that. मतलब जो CEO बनता है वो कोई उसका blood अलग नहीं होता है, right? He or she is as much gifted and as talented as you are. So we must face our fears. So I will just say that we must face the duality of happiness and sadness together with equanimity, right? We all have happiness and we all have sadness in our life, right? Life is not meant to be on a graph going up all the time. It's not possible. It's like this, right? So you learn from your low points, rise up again. You'll have low points continuously, right? Whether it's relationships, whether it's finance, whether it's not getting a promotion, whether it's not getting the right job, you'll have a lot of issues in life. And you guys are all 20 or 20, 22-ish, right? So I've seen divorce, I've seen death, relationships, uh, and you can only learn from the depths of despair. So Joe, Mount Everest is 8,800 odd meters, right? You can't go any higher than that. It's the highest point on the planet. But from the base camp, you can go higher, right? So that's a learning for all of us. We must keep learning from our low points. Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company, right? He was whatever, 34, 35 something, or when he was kicked out from his own company. Then he started Pixar, etc., etc. He came back to Apple and he changed the world. If he had not been kicked out from his own company, I don't think he would have been Steve Jobs and Apple would not have been Apple. So that's a big learning. So if that happens to Steve Jobs, it can happen to you. A sporting example of Virat Kohli. Who thought a year ago he would have been kicked out of captaincy? But the Indian board kicked him out of captaincy. And now you actually see a different Virat Kohli on the field. So all of us go through it. Nobody is irreplaceable. CEOs are replaced immediately. Boards are replaced. Boards can take swift action. So don't attach too much importance to external factors. That's what I would say. Embrace the duality. And there's also a concept of anti-fragility. So if we are fragile, we build ourselves up, and that's called anti-fragility. And that's really what it is, learning from the low points. So these are the two things that I would advise you, Vasu, in your life to embrace. You have a long life ahead, a beautiful life ahead of you. And, this is some of my learnings that I could transfer to you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
No problem. What was the next question? I
Yes,
saw
sir.
someone.
Sir, there is a question from Kalyani Agarwal.
Okay, where is she? She's on call right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we see her ask the question, or her video is muted? I can't see who's that.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah. So are you on video right now? Because I can't see you.
No,
I don't know,
sir,
Abhishek.
my video
Okay,
is.
Kalyani. Yeah, Kalyani.
So my question is, how do we actually identify and differentiate like something is a cause or a symptom of mental illness with regular stress? Like sometimes when we are in stress, we can't actually identify whether it is a stress or it is some mental illness. So how should we differentiate?
No, I mean, your body will tell you if you're going through some issues related to mental health. So either you're sleeping too less, sleeping too much. Either you're eating too much or you're eating too less. Either you're isolating yourself, right? So there are various cues you will get. And your heart and your body your heart will tell you, number one, how you feel. Like today, when you are with your best friend and you're reading out that letter, you're feeling very good. But when you feel lonely, your heart will tell you. So, yeah, listen to your heart. That's what I would say. stress builds up psychologically, and that will cause biological issues to your body. And your body will tell you, you'll feel lethargic. There are various cues you would get, and or even your loved ones would tell you that you're not smiling as much, you're not, uh, um, you know, laughing, you're not spending time with us. So these are all signs. They're all there, right? You know how you feel when you feel happy, and you will definitely know how you feel when you are down. I mean, there's no magic wand to it. Your body, your heart will tell you ASAP. So listen to all those physical signs as well as mental signs on mental health, because mental health largely is invisible, right? But it is visible to you. If you're going through an on the spectrum, you're going through some issues on mental health, you would 100% know. Your happy self, visualize your happy self, and then visualize where you are at the moment. Okay, so that's what I would say. I hope I've been able to answer. And it's very, very important for anyone who's suffering from mental health to address it, either through the counseling route, or if medication is needed, or spending time with friends and family. If you isolate yourself, you're not going to get the results. It's very, very tough. You're not a monk. None of us are monks who are programmed in the brain to face hardship. So I hope I've been able to answer. Is there any follow-up question from your side?
No, sir, that's it. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Okay.
Sir, there is a question from Shivam Shekhar.
Okay.
So
what's the question?
Is how can we secure the emotional well-being of our friends and co-workers in a hybrid or work from home environment?
Okay. So since the number one thing is I hope most of us have traveled in an airplane, right? If what happens when the oxygen mask drops? First, we have to secure oxygen mask for ourselves. So that's what I said. Begin with your emotional well-being first. Look after that. Once we have sorted ourselves out, then yes, it's very important to care for our friends, care for our family. So that would mean spending time with them, either in person if possible, or on the phone, a video call. Talk to that person, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever time you have. Talk to that person. Talk with and be compassionate when you talk to that person. If that person is going through some issues, be very compassionate. Don't say that you're feeling depressed, just shrug it off. Aisa nahi hota hai na? Because when we are mentally down, you can't say abhi just knock it off, shake your body. It doesn't work that way. Depression doesn't go that way. Imagine telling someone who has a fractured leg, shake your leg and your leg will get okay. It doesn't work, right? So practice compassion with that person. Encourage that person to take good habits, build good habits, whether it's listening to some uplifting music. It could be a gana bhi bhej do, send a song and say, I love this song, play it. That person might feel better. Read out something to that person. Ask that person to go for a walk, or if you can take that person for a walk along, take that person. If that person was passionate about painting as a child, whatever, say, why don't we paint together? You might not be a good painter, but so what? You're still so and activities, build up habits, conversations is very, very important. The biggest factor to prevent suicides is having a conversation. When people call the suicide helpline, they feel better and that decision is reversed. It's just a matter of a few seconds. There are people who unfortunately end their life, but had they just spoken to that one friend, in a matter of seconds, they would have said it's not worth it. So, it's very, very important to reach out to our loved ones, friends, family, and invest in their mental health. As I told you, global average is probably like 0.25% on self-mental health. So think about how much can we invest in our community and what can we do to make them better, because what we sow is what we reap. If we make other lives better, our lives will 100% become better. So that's what I would answer to Shivam. Hope I've been able to answer that for you, Shivam.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
No problem. You're welcome. Okay. And what?
Sir, there is one more question from Varun.
Okay.
So he
Okay,
said,
Varun. Yeah, what's Varun's question?
so he says a few days back, took I took know your Ikigai test, which
Okay.
best result that you are in yellow zone and
Okay.
on your
Okay.
way to find your Ikigai. Yet I have
Okay.
no idea what my Ikigai is. So
Okay.
what can I do to know my way of life?
So 60% of population who have taken this across are mostly in the yellow zone. So basically, we are all work in progress. Whoever's in yellow zone is work in progress. Ikigai evolves over a period of time, and it can change. When you were a student, you're 15, 20, in college, your Ikigai may be something. When you're in B school, your Ikigai can be something. When you're working, your Ikigai might evolve. When you're 40, 50, your Ikigai might be different. So Ikigai keeps changing, but it's very important to have one through a lifetime. And it is a process that keeps evolving. As I mentioned, the 10 principles, the more we practice the 10 principles that I spoke about on a daily basis, the more clarity you would get in terms of what you really want to do, which can make the world a better place. And it can also get you income, because ultimately you also need to have income. So, like on a Venn diagram, you can simply, write what are you good at. One circle. On one circle, you can say what do you love doing. One circle is what the world needs, and one circle is how can it generate revenues. And then the common intersection is your passion, vocation, mission, and all. And the sweet spot is Ikigai. So ye aapko continuously, you have to keep working on it. It's not like you're 21 and you know what your Ikigai is, it won't work that way. Very few, unless you're Elon Musk, or you have some Steve Jobs, or you're a sporting prodigy. It takes a long time to find our passion, but we must keep working on it. Give 5 minutes in a day, 10 minutes in a day, but we must do what makes us happy. A lot of human beings spend their entire lifetime not knowing what their passion is. And you'll see it in a workplace. You'll see a lot of people like robots working, getting their salary, but they have no soul in their life, right? You'll see a lot of them, and you'll see a few who have discovered what their passion is, who do exceedingly well, not only at work, but also as a friend, also as a partner, also as a daughter, son, whatever. You must strive to be in that 2%. Don't be in the 98%. No, be in that 2% who really believe they can change the world and who are happy with what they have. Like, Oprah Winfrey says that if you are in gratitude of what you have, then you will love it. If you keep striving for what you don't have, you'll spend an entire lifetime, and it won't yield the results for you. So the yellow zone is like 60% would be in that. Blue zone is 8 to 10%. So blue zone is someone who's really evolved, who knows what they're doing, and who's leading an Ikigai life. So that's something on those zones.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Anyone else?
If anyone of you have any question, you can ask.
Sakshi, do you have a question? Rajat, any questions?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have one question.
Okay.
So the thing is, it often happens that some childhood trauma of ours affect our mental well-being without us actually knowing about it. So we would think that the reason why we're not happy is because something is going on right now. Something isn't right. But the thing is, it was that something happened. That trauma of yours that's not going. And so how does one deal with it?
I think most of us are shaped by our childhood. Most of us, either in our parenting styles or our relationship styles. what we go through as a child shapes us as adults, and so it is an issue which we all face, right? Nobody has a perfect childhood. Sabka kuch na kuch hota hai, which is not ideal. So, but it is not what we want to be, right? As an adult, if we have suffered something in our childhood, we don't want someone else to suffer the same, right? Either it's your partner or it's your child or it's your friend. We must learn to let go, and letting go is very, very hard. It takes a long, long time, but the earlier we let go, the better it'll be for our mental health. Because if we have that mountain or the black clouds around our brains, we won't evolve. So really, as I mentioned, learn from what went wrong from our childhood and embrace it. So from my side, my dad was not an alcoholic, but he used to have a drink or two every day, and then his behavior was not ideal, right? And not treating the mother right, etc., etc. And when I grew up, I knew that that's not something I want to replicate as a father. So I don't drink and I don't smoke, and so that's something that I really learned. I have a bar at home for my friends and my family, so they come home, they enjoy. No, I'm not judging anyone, but all I'm saying is, if we can't control our vices, then it is affecting the community around us. So that's a personal example. A lot of people ask me, why don't you smoke and you don't drink? And I say, look, that's something that I learned from my childhood, and I don't want to replicate it when I grow up and I see my son or my whoever, my loved ones, saying, okay, he can't handle his drinks and then he gets abusive and all of that. So we must let go and get the learnings from it, and put the learnings in good use, either at our workplace or in a personal space, because ultimately we have to succeed in both, right? In professionally and personally. There's no one who succeeds only professionally, and it's very important to be a good human being in work and off work. You can't have two human beings. You can't be brilliant as a human being at a personal space and then as a Hitler in a workspace. You won't be able to manage it for a long time, and it's not healthy for you to have two masks on. So I would just say, do those things that help you let go of anything that we suffered in our childhood, and look at the positives that came out of it. And everyone has gone through some issue or the other, right? There's no one who says I had a perfect childhood. So everyone has gone through shit, and they will keep going through shit, but we can only try to be a better version of ourselves when we grow up. That's what I would say to you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, great. So I hope, Abhishek, the session has been good. Any other last questions?
Yes, session went very good. I think everyone enjoyed it and learned a lot from the session.
I am on LinkedIn and on Insta. If somebody wants to connect with me and ask me a question, my email address, everything is there. I would love to answer anyone's doubts, or if they need some mentoring, I would be happy to do that. They can contact me on LinkedIn. My email ID is there, on Instagram, whatever. I'd be happy in any capacity to help students, bright students such as you, face the corporate world coming up probably in a year's time for you. So thank you so much, and I would love to have your honest feedback, Abhishek, if you can share it with the students.
Yes,
I enjoyed this session. Thank you once again, and wish you the very best.
Sir, if Sakshi would like to conclude the session.
Yes, Sakshi, please. I won't take your thunder away.
Yes, sir. So we all agree that our graduation can be a very stressful time,
very stressful.
even for the most calmest people around here. And very soon we'll be entering into this new phase in our life, the corporate world. So your insights couldn't have been more timely. And I think that definitely all of us are going to get benefit from the methods you suggested to us. your enthusiasm was very contagious. And thank you so much for this amazing session. And also, I would like to thank our audience here who gave the attention, because attention spans of this long time aren't very common. And with this, I would like to close the session. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Abhishek. Please circulate the feedback form, and please re-forward those attachments. If anyone wants to read more, they'll benefit with that. I'll send you some more attachments. You can share it with your group. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.